Hi everyone. Hello, how's it going out there? Let me pin a comment here. Okay. All right. Hi, I see some of you joining. Welcome. Happy Sunday. All right, so I'm really happy to be spending today with you and talking a little bit about Instagram. I know that whenever I'm in the DMs with you guys, one of the biggest questions I get is, what should my caption say? What should my post be? I'm all out of ideas, and it totally happens. And so hopefully today you guys can save this training for later, take a few notes, and then every month you're already going to have some content, some templates kind of already set up and ready to go. Okay, let me grab my headphones so that I can keep the audio nice. Hi everyone, where are you watching from? Just plugging these in. Okay, cool. If you guys can hear me okay, will you just say that you can hear me? I see you here. Awesome. All right, so when we think about Instagram, I think that the reason why we get in our head about it is just because many of us, we've Googled everything, we've watched trainings like this, we've tried some of this stuff and just not been successful in bringing the clients in, getting the engagement or attention that we really want to see. So I think where that leads is to self-doubt, right? Like we start doubting, am I even good at writing captions? Am I even good at showing up on Instagram? So once we start doubting ourselves, once we feel like we've tried everything and nothing's worked, I think that then we almost start overthinking it to the point of perfectionism or something like that, where we just shut down. So hopefully these ideas today can help you all, when you're in that space, understand a direction and feel super grounded. So I'm going to be sharing 3 Instagram posts that you guys can be using every single month. And so the first one is the first one is kind of my favorite. And what I'm going to say is, this is one of the only ones where I really want you to be vulnerable and really share from your heart, okay? So what this one is about is, you could call it an introduction post, you could call it, sharing a little bit about you, but what I want you to do is every single month, open up your heart and let people get to know you on a different level as it relates to our industry, okay? So what this might sound like is a photo of you, a reel of you, whatever, and then sharing what you love most about what you do. Maybe you could also talk about why you got into the industry in the first place, or your own personal journey with beauty. A lot of us got into this industry because maybe we struggled with our hair, or we learned at a young age the power of having good hair, or knowing how to style our hair, or embracing our beauty, or developing self-confidence. I mean, we've all experienced a personal journey with beauty and being in this society, right? So this intro post every month, this vulnerable post, I think is going to be a great way for your audience to really connect with you. So typically when I do these, I really try to push myself to connect on a different level, because most of our Instagram should be all about our clients, right? By now, I feel like it's common knowledge that it isn't all about us anymore. And so when we're showing up for others, it can be hard to understand where our place is, where our voice is, where our story fits. And I think that this post specifically is a great way to share more about you and really help people get to know you as a human being. Because really it's people can get a good service anywhere. They really can. People can get a good service anywhere. So it's why would people come to you? So I think that is an amazing one. So that's an intro post, a vulnerable post, sharing more about you, your journey in this industry, and all of that. So the second post that you can be doing every single month is what it's like to be your client. This is an awesome post. In fact, Sunny, who's here, Skin by Sunny, you can check out her page. She's done some really great ones that really show the behind the scenes of what it's like to be her client at her studio and get the facials and what does the room look like, what does it smell like, how does it feel. So what I want you guys to think about is, what does it feel like to be your client, and really putting that into words. So if you're feeling stuck on that, I would say just start with the basics. Like, what do your clients tell you you do better than anyone else? Most likely, one of the things is that you actually listen, right? Like, how many of us have had clients who say, no one ever listened to me before? Or, my previous stylist didn't care. It was just a number. I felt like she was rushing us. I was in and out. It wasn't a good thing. But you take the time to really listen and care about what I want, what I'm looking for, why, will it work for me? So even starting at that place, I think would be amazing, because what we want to do with these posts is, the first thing is we want to help people connect with us as humans. And then the second thing is that we really want to take all the fears, all the butterflies, all that nervous energy that people have about going to a new stylist or a new esthetician, and we want to take all those fears away. So that's why we want to talk about what it's like to be our client, because then they're not left wondering, like, will this be like the experiences I've had before? And what is it gonna feel like? You're going to be showing them. Okay, so that is the second one. And then the third one is really, really fun. You can do this in a lot of different ways. And this works for, like, these posts really work for all formats. So if you're a video creator, cool. If you like to do carousels, if you just like to show photos of your work, like, however you feel good about showing up, these are gonna work in all of those formats. So the last one is a myth buster. Okay, so we want to get on there and bust some myths. We want to share some common misconceptions that our clients have maybe told us that they have about their hair, some frequently asked questions that you get all the time. We really want to show up and be that authority and be that voice. So where this can come is, like, let's say that your clients constantly think that, I don't know why I always go here, but that coconut oil is really good for their hair, okay? There's a lot of debate on that, so it is what it is. But let's say that's something that you hear from clients over and over and over again. What a great way to show up as an authority and as a voice to just call that out, right? You can also use these myth busters with common reasons people don't come in. So that might be, good hair has to be really expensive. Blonde hair has to be super high maintenance, right? Not true. Extensions are only if you want waist length hair. Again, not true. For my straightening queen here, that straightening your hair is super damaging, or it's going to look funny when it starts growing back out. Not true on any account. So what are the main services that you have, and how can you bust some of those common myths that people have? And so really, if you think about it, these three categories, so the vulnerable post, what it's like to be your client, and then the myth buster, truly you could center all of your content around these. And if you guys follow me and you've been in my world for a while, you see that I do this on a regular basis. Like, a lot of my content is really busting those myths or demystifying the behind the scenes and simplifying everything. So this is a great starting point for your content, and I think that this can help you on those days, especially where you're having that writer's block. Something that I think has shifted a lot in the past couple of years that is a little bit newer in terms of a mentality or approach to Instagram is really, it used to be everything needs to be perfect, right? Like, your feed needed to look completely cohesive. You needed 2 brand colors that alternated. Your photos needed to be taken with like a Canon, fancy photographer camera. Everything needed to be flawless, okay? You needed to go get like professional photos of yourself to post or else it looked bad. That whole thing, okay? Where we're going now is people are starving for authenticity, okay? They are starving for authenticity. I feel like they would rather you show up in sweatpants with a scrunchie in your hair than have you be so put together that it starts to feel insincere and it doesn't feel as genuine. So where we are now is that we're shifting away from a few posts that are so perfect and completely curated and you've thought meticulously over every detail, to now we're really in an era of quantity. So before it was high quality and less posts, and now we're in a phase of quantity. Just get it out there. Get a bunch of posts out there. Show up even when it's messy or imperfect, just put it out there. Because as long as you're being authentic to you and you're honoring your clients and their biggest problems and what they need support with, there is no way that you can fail, okay? And I've seen this time and time again because in the luxury client method, which by the way, doors are closing this week and we start tomorrow. So if you have been eyeing a seat and you still have a couple questions or you're still wondering, go ahead and DM me the word method so that I can make sure you have that clarity and you can jump in. But in the luxury client method, when I teach my content strategy, when I teach my content method, I feel like suddenly there's this moment where people are just clear on how to show up finally to where it takes that perfectionism off the table. Because they realize it's not about looking perfect or sounding perfect. It's just about showing up with that servant heart, right? Like showing up ready to serve. Really accepting that our Instagram accounts are for everyone else. They're not about us. And it takes that pressure off. So hopefully this insight is really going to set you up for success so that as you go to write content, when you find yourself overthinking it, when you find yourself nitpicking your photos and zooming in and being like, oh, but that one piece is driving me crazy, you'll post it anyway. Because the thing is, we cannot get clients if we're invisible. Like, so many people want to be seen. They want the, let's say, the fame. They want the visibility. They want to be that local celebrity. They want to be the go-to person in their industry, but they want to hide at the same time, right? Like, we have to be willing to show up. So hopefully these give you a jumping point for that. I know I am going on a rant, but I just know the power of this. Like, when the stylists in my program implement these content methods and implement the other strategies for growing and actually signing clients, they can still spend just 20 minutes a day, but they actually start to see the results come in. And that's the difference when you're showing up with the right energy, the right intention, and that authentic voice of yours. Because I don't care how many stylists are out there. Like, I really don't. You might have 100 hairstylists who are amazing at what they do, right on the same block as you. Like, your voice, all of the experiences that you've had that have led to this moment in your career, all of the education you've taken, all of the personal experiences that you've gone through gives you something so unique and so special that when you can just channel this heart of yours, this passion of yours, and really show up in that way, you guys, it not only feels better, like in your body, and takes away the anxiety and takes away that like pit in your stomach when it comes to creating, but it also attracts the right clients. When we're putting on this like perfect facade or we're stressing over everything being perfect, we can end up attracting people that we actually don't even vibe with, right? Like, the more authentic you can be, the better. So I hope this little pep talk has been super helpful for all of you. Just a reminder that doors are closing this week. And the last thing that I wanted to say before I sign off is I know that the world is really heavy right now. As we're gearing up in another 2 years for an election year, as there's so much happening around us, I want to remind you of one really big thing, which is all we can control is our attitude, our focus, how we show up to the people in our community, to the direct people in our lives, and how well we can take care of ourselves and just continue to do that. So when it all feels overwhelming, don't forget to drink water, eat some vegetables, go on a walk, and just center and really focus on the few things within your control, because everything else, whether you worry about it or not, is going to be out there, okay? But we can control a certain amount of things. So don't let it take you out. Stay in it. Stay fighting for what you believe in and what your purpose is and what your passion is. And of course, I will be here to help you do that in a profitable way. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you all most likely tomorrow, to be honest with you. So have a great night.